And that's something us men don't usually talk about, but we're going to now. A new campaign urging us to check our testicles. NutNominate is a new initiative which asks men across the country to OK them, if you want me to put it that way. It was thought up by the Round Table of Great Britain and Ireland following the diagnosis of several of its members. Testicular cancer affects over 2,000 men aged 18 to 45 every year in the UK alone, the same age group that the Round Table target for their membership. So the organisation is trying to spread the message across the country in a bid to raise awareness. And Julian Webb, who created the campaign, joins us on the line to tell us a bit more. Tell us what you're trying to achieve with this, Julian.
Hi, Mark. Yes, good to speak to you this morning. Mark, essentially, we're trying to reach as many men as we can, not only in the UK, but globally if possible, through the power of social media. We saw Stephen Sutton, his campaign earlier on this year, when unfortunately he passed away. He reached an amazing amount of people, and he touched so many people. And essentially from that, I was very moved because he was a local lad. He lived just up the road from us. And we attended his vigil, myself and my family. And I felt that I really, really want to do something now for basically passing on the information, letting people know and understand what I went through and what they can do to essentially make themselves cured a lot quicker and reduce the risk of anything more serious happening.
Some of these stats that I just gave out there are affecting over 2,000 men 18 to 45, right slap bang where you're targeting your members. So it's a key thing for your group.
It is very much, yeah. I mean, we had a look at it. We've been talking to some people through Twitter. We've met a lot of new people through in Australia and the United States who've all come on board. And I think it's about 8,500 people in the USA get affected by it as well. So it does it affects a lot of people. And the thing is, it's a young man's cancer. You don't realise this. Most guys think they're fit, they're playing football, they're out and about and what have you. But I think 50% of the people who are diagnosed are between about 18 and 35. So the important thing is that we get these young people to get rid of the stigma, don't be embarrassed about it, check your testicles, and if there's any kind of doubt whatsoever, go to your GP and go and have a word with them.
Why do you think it's something we shy away from talking about?
It's a very English thing. I think we're a bit embarrassed, a little bit prudy. Sex education and everything else. People can be a bit embarrassed. It's an English kind of attitude. You know, if we say testicles and you feel a bit awkward about saying that on the radio, people, excuse my terminology, they can say nuts, balls, ghoulies, whatever they want to say, and people feel a little bit awkward about it straight away. And we need to dispel that myth, get out there and get checking. I mean, I know the ladies, the girls, they tend to, I think breast cancer is talked about a lot more. The girls don't have a problem so much about talking about checking the breasts and what have you. But the guys, whether it's a macho thing or whatever it is, feeding your nuts, we need to dispel that myth and we need to get people thinking about it and talking about it. Women
seem to be a lot more medically aware, don't they?
They do, yeah. I mean, I have to admit, I was very embarrassed about going to the doctors. I'm not a very, how do I put it? I'm not very good with blood. I'm not very good with needles. I never have been. And when I did find that I got an issue, I was very, very anxious about going to the doctors. Essentially, one of my testicles, it just started to feel a bit bigger and heavier. Since I turned 40, it's quite a warm summer, and I just thought it was a bit bigger and heavier, and I spoke to my wife about it, and she thought, well, maybe not, leave it for a bit. And we left it for a couple of weeks, and within 2 weeks, it was definitely getting bigger and heavier. So I made the decision to go to the doctors, and it was a female doctor, and I went straight in there, but I was more concerned about my health than the embarrassment of having a woman feeling my balls, essentially.
Mm. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? There is this the shyness of getting something checked out if you do have a problem.
It is, yeah. You need to get rid of that myth. I mean, with NutNominate, we're asking guys to check the testicles, give the OK sign that it's OK, tag 5 other guys on Facebook through our NutNominate page, get them to do the same thing. So we have a bit of fun about it, a bit of a laugh and a joke, to get people talking about it more and realising that other people are checking the balls, other people haven't got a problem with talking about it, so that if you have got an issue, you won't be embarrassed to go to the doctors and talk to them about it.
And the nominate part of this, I mean, we've seen this ice bucket challenge. Whether all the money's gone in the right place is a side issue and something we might actually focus in on this programme. But in terms of the way your system works, that would be perfect, wouldn't it? Because if you can nominate other people to do it.
Well, exactly. Well, it's like a pyramid selling kind of thing. We're not raising money. We're not trying to drum up any kind of a financial arrangements with anybody. All we want to do is spread the word. And through that, each person nominating 5 people, I think hopefully if it takes off, within a couple of weeks it could go exponential, it could cover hundreds, even millions of people, and then naturally it'll drop off the curve and it'll all sort of peter out within a few weeks' time. But in that period, if we can get enough people talking about it, our challenge is that if we can get one person only out of this whole campaign to go to the doctors sooner if they think they've got a problem and get themselves checked out, then the whole campaign's been a success.
But as you've already said, Julian, that's phase 1, isn't it? Recognising you have a problem. Phase 2 is actually going to see someone about it.
It is, yeah. You need to go immediately to your GP. The NHS is a very good fast-tracking service that if you see your GP, they will check your testicles. If they say they're concerned there's a problem, they will fast-track you through the cancer awareness and the cancer referral scheme, and you'll get seen very, very quickly by a specialist.
And the Roundtable really got behind this, have they?
They have, yeah. I mean, they're fantastic. I mean, Roundtable, it's one of it probably is the best young man's association in the UK. We've got about 4,500 members at the moment, and they're really behind it. Since I was diagnosed, and we've been talking about it, we found there's a couple of 3 other guys in Roundtable who have either had it or they've been treated for it at the moment. And you realise, there are more people than you think who do get diagnosed with it. And Table's right behind it, fantastic. I mean, our chief exec, Kate Allen, she's really helping pushing it along. Also, our all the top guys on the board, absolutely fantastic, really supported it, helped us design the programme, design all the logo and the branding, and we're really pushing it forward. And
in your situation, if you don't mind me asking, Julian, when you did go and see the doctor, and they, what did you get treatment for it? What happened?
I did, yeah. I mean, I was very lucky. I was caught at stage 1 because I was quick. I had what they call a stage 1, which means the cancer was contained in just the testicle. It was a seminoma type of cancer. I'm not amazingly medical, but apparently it's one of the better ones to have if you're going to get one. And because it was stage 1, I had an orchidectomy, which is the term for having the testicle removed. So they basically make an incision in your groin. They don't take it out of your scrotum. They put an incision in your groin and they take it out from above so that there's less danger of material breaking off and going around your bloodstream. So I had that operation. Within about 4 days, I was fine. I went out for my son's birthday dinner. And within a few weeks after that, I had 1 dose of chemotherapy. It's basically a precautionary chemo course. If it's seminoma stage 1, they give you 1 dose of that, and it just cleans up anything else in your body. And touch wood, I'm fine.
Yeah, but if you hadn't checked,
if I hadn't checked, no. I mean, it could have spread very rapidly. I mean, it could have moved out there to my lymph nodes and my groin and what have you, and into your liver. You just don't know. And then your prognosis starts to progressively get worse as it takes hold of your body. I mean. Like I say, I was very lucky. I moved quickly, and I'm very pleased. They always say that if you're a bloke, if you're going to get cancer, testicular cancer is the best one to get, because essentially your testicles they're essentially sort of outside the main part of your body, and you can catch it quickly, have them removed, and you should be absolutely fine. My uncle actually had it round about the same sort of time I did, and he's in his 80s now. So it doesn't mean you can't live a long and happy and healthy life.
And so the campaign launches today, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. The Facebook page went live about 6 o'clock this morning. We're getting on for about 200 likes already. We've asked people to like the page. Also, if you change your Facebook profile picture to our NutNominate one, just to show your support, and get stuck in 5 fine. You don't have, whether you're a guy or a lady, pick 5 guys and nominate them, tag them onto the Facebook page so they know they've been tagged, and ask them to check themselves and nominate 5 others. If they go onto our the web page, all the information is there as to how to do it. There's a couple of stories about myself and a guy called Nigel Glasgow who's been treated as well for testicular cancer. On the back page, there's a links section with an awful lot of charities and support groups who are specifically geared to testicular cancer, and then you can look on those. They're based around the country, so there's a lot of support behind this. that people probably don't realise. They're really, really good guys to get to talk. If you've got an issue, you're concerned, or you've been treated, or you've got a friend who needs some help and support, put them in touch with one of those guys, and they'll really, really help them out.
And this is on Twitter as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we're on Twitter. We've got about 740 followers, something like that, on Twitter already. We sort of developed the momentum on Twitter a little bit before the Facebook page was released, because the Facebook page is a little bit more interactive than Twitter for the sort of thing we're trying to do at the moment. But Twitter, we're getting a lot of nominations on Twitter now. So if you're on Twitter as well, get on there, nominate 5 guys, and get them moving forward.
And that hashtag is NutNominate.
It is hashtag NutNominate, and the website is nutnominate.com, and obviously NutNominate as well on Facebook.
All right. We wish you every success with it, Julian. Thanks very much for talking to us about it this morning.
Thank you very much, Mark.
That's Julian Webb, who has created this campaign, Nut